still going to need you to come in on Saturday.
Hello guys, Night Spectre here, bringing you some more gameplay footage of me playing a support Mundo this time around. Yeah, you don't see those too often. Well, it's not really that viable, but it'll work out this time. And I thought, hey, if I have to support again, I might as well take something new and refreshing, because taking the same character time and time over again is not something I enjoy. Though who knows, some people like it, I guess. I like playing Nidalee for an instance, though I don't like to play her constantly, so maybe it's better that I get supporting and jungling some time around. And well, I have other top laners as well, but it doesn't matter. So as you can see, I ward. That's a good job. Always ward as a support, though I'll tend to forget it quite a lot in this game, but it doesn't really matter. It's truly a pity that I need to support against a Tristana as a Mundo, because you know Tristana can blast your face with a grievous wounds dot that decreases your healing by quite a bit, and well, it also leaves a damaging attack which does magic damage, which dots you as well. So that's not good. It's a bit of a pity to go support Mundo against Tristana, but I'll have some decent gameplay footage for you. Anyway. So, as a support Mundo, the only thing you can really do that is a bit of supporty is trying to throw cleavers onto the enemy champions, because it can do a decent amount of damage and it has a low cooldown, though you have to make sure that you hit your cleavers, because else you'll lose a lot of health in the beginning of the game. Because it's hard for a Mundo to, you know, get a decent early item. You could go for the Philosopher's Stone with the health regen, because Makipan really isn't all that great. So you can see now that Tristan actually is being pretty retarded, so that's a kill for my carry, which is good. And of course Mundos are very good at sticking to the enemy champions, so you can eternally slow them, giving your carries easy kills, or in this case assists. They play like Mundo, like Nunu, to be honest. Though of course Nunu is a bit better for support, because he can give an attack speed buff together with movement speed, which is fairly good because the movement speed stacks pretty well with the slow that he can also do. But of course the slow of Nunu is not a skill shot, which can be considered a good thing or a bad thing, because Mundo is able to just throw cleavers wherever he pleases. He can just throw them into the bush, hitting the enemies. Or he can throw them wherever, even if the enemies are far away. The cleaver has a decent range and a decent cooldown, so he plays like a Nunu, but he's better at some places and worse in others. Personally, as a support, I would prefer Nunus above Mundos, but Mundos can be quite aggressive as well, as we might see in the not so distant future. The thing about Mundos is that they are quite good at the end game, whilst Nunu, I don't know. I think Nunu's the only thing they can do is stick to a target and buff up the attack speed of your carry, which is good. But Mundo is actually able to just ball sack around and destroy everyone. Once they get into the end game, they'll have so much regeneration, so much HP. They'll be badass. But of course, it's hard to do as a support, because you can't really always do your gear the way you want it to be. It's pretty damn hard, to be honest. It's like you have to go, and if you want to be tanky as a support, you really need to have the items for it, and you can't really buy the items as a support, so that might be a bit tricky. But the same could be said for support Nunu. They also need to be tanky. If they don't have Banshee's Veil, then their ultimate will be negated very fast. Though most of the time you pop your ultimate as a Nunu in order to get some attention towards you, so that the enemy needs to attack you in order to stop it. Pop your Banshee and then do another attack to negate it. And then you die. And that's the way you play support Nunu. As a Mundo, you have more freedom. It's actually pretty fun. The enemy tends to ignore you completely, though you are able to do significant amount of damage. Your cleaver does percentual damage considering the health of your enemy. So if your enemy has 100% of its HP, then a level 5 cleaver will do about 25% damage. of the total HP that is still left. So when he's 100 HP, he will have 75% HP left, not considering magic resistance and all that good stuff. So that's a big chunk of damage in the beginning. If you can cleaver everyone, that's like 25% health of the enemies gone. And of 75%, you throw a cleaver, then they'll get around 50. No, not really, it will be more like 55% of their health remaining, if they do not have any magic resistance. But of course I play Mundo support with tanky runes, so that I can take damage, and with armor penetration, because his third skill, masochism, gives you attack damage, and a lot of attack damage. At level 5 it's 100 extra attack damage, and it also has a bonus attack damage. For each percentage of HP missing, you get 1 attack damage. So if you would be dead and your masochism was on, then you'd be able to do 100 extra damage, plus of course the 100 damage that you automatically get. So that's a lot of damage, but of course you would be dead, so you wouldn't get 200 extra attack damage. That would be silly. So yeah, you can chunk away a lot of HP of your enemies if they tend to ignore you. So they can't really ignore you, but still they have to, because you're the tank, you're the support, even worse. People really want to kill me, but I don't care. I'm support, Mundo. If I'm your first target, then so be it. As long as you stay away from my carry, I don't care. You can kill me all the times you want. But I guess, well, you have to choose as an enemy. Of course, if you play Mundo on ranked or draft pick, then people tend to have a lot of ignites, and that really destroys a Mundo. But of course there's more things in life than ignites. If they have ignites, then they mean they took it for you. So they took a summoner spell for you, and you're the tank or the support. So that's actually good play if they need to use summoner skills for you. But yeah, that's Mundo. Then of course Mundo has another ability. I'm going to go for it now. That's Burning Agony, which is like having your personal Sunfire cape. So it's a dot. Enemies surrounding you into the fire, they will take damage. And every time it's like damage per second, but it also does damage to you. It costs health per second. I don't know how much out of my head, but it doesn't really matter, because as a Mundo you'll have enough regeneration in order to just sustain the Burning Agony for a long period of time. Normally you leave, as I play him, I leave Burning Agony on level 1 just to have the 15% crowd control reduction. So yeah, Burning Agony also gives crowd control reduction now that we're at it. Each level up gives 5% extra crowd control reduction, so it's pretty good, but I want to do some beefy damage with Mundo in the beginning. So I go for first cleaver, because it slows. It's my only a bit of support spell, even though it's not that supporty. And then Burning Agony, which gives me a lot of attack damage, especially when I'm on low HP. So I leave Burning Agony for what it is, but it's a decent spell, though if you level it up pretty early, okay, you'll get a lot of cooldown, tenacity, but it will cost you a chunk of health if you'll leave it on in the early games, because if you level it, the health cost also increases, and that could be deadly, so you don't really want that. Of course, you could leave it on for a bit longer during your ultimate, because, well, we'll get to that later, though I might even start it now. Mundo's ultimate is one of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. It's just a very good ability. It enables you to regen, well, at the first level I think it's 40% of your total health. That's a lot, though not as much as it will become. So first percentage, I think is 40% of your total health will get regenerated over time, over 12 seconds. Then it gets better. At level 11 it will be, I think, about 60%, and then level 16 will be 70, something like that. So that's a lot of HP you just regen over the course of time. And I've seen actually players making use of this, because Mundo has big damage thanks to masochism. He can stick to his target thanks to the cleavers. And he has a regenning ult which says, hello, you can't kill me during these seconds unless you ignite him and do a lot of burst damage. So people tend to play Mundo. I've seen Mundos who go top and they play him like Trinamirs to go very high damage, very high crit and all that good stuff. Here you can see the dot of Tristana killing me. Damn dot, elsewhere I would have just regened back to health. Because Mundo's passive also gives regeneration, of course. Maybe I should say that as well. Mundo is all about regeneration. Talking about his ult, let's go to his passive. I think it's 0.3% of his maximum health gets regened per second, which is a lot. Well, it can stack. You can buy a frozen, no, not a frozen, a force of nature. You can also buy force of nature, which gives about the same percentage. I think it's 0.35%. So that's like 0.65% that you regen per second as a Mundo if you have force of nature. And then of course force of nature gives regeneration as well and movement speed, but I'll get up to that. So yeah, the ultimate of Mundo is actually pretty great. It does not only regen you, it gives you movement speed. So in case of chasing, like I'm going to show here, I will spot the enemies and I immediately throw down a cleaver, put on burning agony, so if they use crowd control onto me, it will be reduced by at least a small amount. And then I'm able to stick onto enemies. My burning agony does damage, my attacks, my auto attacks do damage, and my cleavers do decent amount of damage, especially on the early game. So with my ult, I'm just able to run next to them, say, hi, hello, you want a briefcase on your face? Of course you do. Have a briefcase on your face. Mumu, you want a briefcase on your face? Yeah, he's a bastard. So that's normally how I tend to play Mundo in 1v1 situations. Just you, like here, if you're laning, this is a good example for laning, even though I'm just out of the picture now. You just lost it, and when the enemy is in a position where you think, I can throw a cleaver onto his face, you throw a cleaver onto him. The same counts for a support Mundo, though it's a bit easier as a support Mundo because you don't need to worry about last hitting. You can just stand into a bush and throw cleavers. And if the bush doesn't work, then just walk around, show your pretty face and throw cleavers. Another good thing, of course, about the ultimate is that you can turret dive for a long time. It's about 12 seconds if the ultimate goes on, though in the early games it's a bit too dangerous to try and stand 12 seconds under the turret. But I can do it here decently enough, and it gave us a kill on Tristana. Well, with us, I mean me, of course. And now that I'm low on HP, I could use Masochism to do a lot of damage onto the turret, but I'll leave it on because we get attacked. But that's the thing you need to remember, that sometimes you'll win team fights and your ultimate is still off cooldown and you think, well, I'm gonna push towers, but I might as well regen now that my ult is off cooldown. Try not to do that, because most of the time you can do a lot of damage the lower your HP is thanks to Masochism. So you can do a lot more damage onto turrets and, well, inhibitors. So try to keep your HP as low as possible if there's no danger approaching, like you made an ace or something like that. Then try to keep your HP as low as possible. Also, the cost of your ultimate is about 20% of your current health. So the lower your health is, the less the cost will be. So that's a thing to keep in mind. If you pop your ultimate in the beginning of a team fight, you will lose 20% of your health. If you have max health, that's a lot. That's a lot of your HP. So what you have to do is try and just go in there. If you don't get focused, just go in, ball sack around. Once they start focusing you and you see that you're like on 40% health, or even lower if you can, but if you get ignited, it could be dangerous, then pop your ultimate and then up your HP goes, even though the cost of it was reduced to a fair minimum. So now you're probably thinking, well, if Mundo is that supporty or viable as support, what can he do in teamfights to support his team? He's only ball sagging around, he goes where he pleases. Well, just because Mundo goes where he pleases doesn't mean your enemy can. So as a Mundo, because you're a big meat shield, all you need to do is actually prevent the enemies from getting to your squishies. Most importantly, probably your carry, and otherwise your AP carry. So like here, Sinch will probably go for Severe, but I'm just gonna keep on slowing him. He's not getting near. And that's how you probably support as a Mundo. Even though I must say there are probably plenty of better supports. I just played them because I was bored and it worked out. As a support as Mundo, I'm also able to rock around the map fairly fast thanks to my ultimate, preventing Cartus from getting a kill on a Mumu, giving a kill to the carry. So as you see, even though it's not a good support, as long as you're able to do what your job is, it doesn't really matter what support you take. You can go support Gangplank as well, see if I care. As long as you just don't steal creeps from your carry, it doesn't really matter. As long as you do your job, it's fine. So before I'm going to show gameplay footage of team fights, I'm gonna try and say my build order. As a support Mundo, it's kind of hard because you can't really start with a Mackie Pendant, which gives you mana regeneration, because Mundo doesn't use mana. But still, as a support, you want to be able to place wards and maybe have a few pots, I don't know. So I started off with boots. Maybe there are better possibilities than boots, but boots give me movement speed, which is very good. It enables me to throw fairly easy cleavers. And it also allows me to grab at least one ward, maybe two. Nope, only one. Maybe two. If you have the mastery, you could go for two perhaps, but then you will not be able to buy a health pot. Or two. So I bought one ward and two health pots because you are in the front lines. You will be taking damage, and what else can you do against damage than to drink up a potion and be all fine again. Then the first support item I will buy, well, it's a gold per 5 item, but support needs gold per 5 because support needs to buy items and you cannot last hit unless you're lucky like me. In time to times I was able to stand alone in a lane, and hey, I can't let the lane push against my tower now, can I? Though, yeah, mostly you go for gold per 5. You could go for a Philosopher's Stone, it gives regeneration, which works great onto Mundo, but my first gold per 5 item I tend to buy is the Heart of Gold, because health means everything to Mundo. It gives you bigger regeneration on your ulti, on your passive, and well, it allows you to do more abilities really, because the more health you have, the more you can lose, and all of Mundo's abilities cost health. So it's a way to prevent it from going on. In this game I also thought, well hey, I have Armor Pen, as my next gold per 5 item I might buy an Everrise Blade. Though I actually regret buying that. I only critted once, it's not really that good or decent, and I thought, hey, what could possibly go wrong? So actually here we have a team fight already starting. I think it's a decent team fight for me, but not for my team. My team actually died pretty hard. But as I was going, I thought I'm going on to your carry, and I went for the carry, killed Tristana, then go for the squishies. Because my Burning Agony is on, I flashed into two low HP kinda guys and was able to get a double kill out of that one, giving me the triple. And now it was a bit greedy. I thought, hey, I want cinched. And then I died. So yeah, getting a quadra kill actually gave me some money for buying my other items. So as I was saying, don't buy Everrise Blade, it's not that good. Try and go for a Philosopher's Stone. I know it gives mana per 5, it's useless, but it gives health per 5, which is great for Mundos. And you can turn it into Shirello's Reverie, which gives HP as well, because of the Kindle gem that you need in order to make it. And you can give extra movement speed to your entire team, which is also awesome. Then, normally it's not that supporty, but because I was fat and Mundo really needs the HP, I went for Warmox. Yeah, I did. I went for Warmox immediately and I was able to buy it, and I was happy. Once you have Warmox as a Mundo, you are so strong, but that'll only work when you're pretty fat, as I am this time around. Though normally a Mundo doesn't work. You could go for the new Stark's Fervor, I don't know how it's called, I'll keep on calling it Stark's Fervor, it's my thing. It's also a decent weapon, it gives attack speed and lifesteal, which is good on Mundo, don't get it wrong, attack speed is good because thanks to masochism, again, attack damage is good. Boom, Nunu. Doesn't matter. And it gives your team what it needs, and it gives HP as well, so it's fine. Though, what you normally build for Mundo is health regen. You just want health regen. Therefore you have the Heart of Gold, you can turn that into a Randuin's Omen. which gives health regen, gives a HP. Again, it's a good item. The active is also fairly good. So there you have it. You go for a random Zoman. I go for Warmogs as well. You could actually go, though, as a support Mundo, I wouldn't go for it. Go for the heavy attack damage build, like, well, I say heavy. For a Mundo, it's kinda heavy. You go for the Frozen Mallet and an Atmos Impaler together with Warmogs. That will increase your damage by a significant amount. But that's more for a top lane Mundo, or even better a jungle Mundo, because junglers tend to need a little bit of attack damage to go through a jungle and to be aggressive during the laning phases, but still, you won't have the money by then. A nice grab there by a Mumu, though we will not get the kill by a good ultimate there by Janna. They will all get away, fairly low on HP. I do not have my ult, I used it earlier to, well, in another fight I wanted to get Karthus, so nothing will happen out of this. Maybe Sinch will get silly enough and be cocky and die. Yeah, I think he will be. Though Nunu's ult was instantly removed, so good job Cinched. Well, doesn't matter. So my next item that I went for after I got a quadra kill, so that was easy, was Force of Nature. It gives you movement speed and it gives you regeneration. And it, as I said before, it will increase your passive regeneration skill as well, because it's the same thing pretty much, only not 5% better, which is not that much, but still it will give you about 0.60% health regen, 65 per second. That's kind of a lot. Here I am going versus 3. I am Mundo. I do not have my ultimate yet again, though I should be fine. Should be able to get Karthus at the very least, and a Mumu was approaching. So I'm going. I see Janna low on HP and I don't want her to go. Janna, don't hurt me. Though I need to save my Amumu. Amumu is pretty low, though they're both on pretty much the same HP, so if I'm next to him, he should be fine. Janna actually wants a kill onto Amumu. I will not let her, so I prevent Janna from going there. I could not stop Tristana though. Tristana had to flash after him, and now I thought, my ultimate is almost off cooldown. When it's off cooldown, I'll be able to kill a Tristana. Though Tristana actually went for me there and I had to flash away. My ultimate wasn't off cooldown yet. No, I'm gonna stick onto her and then cinch the game, and I thought, yeah, never mind. So that will probably be the end of that. So, Force of Nature, good item, gives movement speed, which is great. It works with your ultimate. Mundo needs movement speed, it's a good item. Afterwards I went for Random Zoan, which I also explained why I got this. A great active ability as well, slowing everyone. And then my last item, I don't recall it really. Was it my last? It wasn't even my last. So which two items did I take as well? I wanted to be a bit more aggressive. So I wanted some attack damage, so I went for the Hex Drinker and then the Maw of Malmortius, because the Maw of Malmortius also gives you attack damage the lower your HP is, so it's like almost the same as Masochism. It's a bit different, but still, the result is the same. So if I'm low on HP, I will be a force to reckon with, and if they focus me and I pop my ultimate, I will almost entirely be low on HP the entire time. They will not be able to kill me because I regen like a beast when I have my ultimate, but if they focus me, they will only make me stronger. If they ignore me, well, I have attack damage enough regardless. So I won't be a beast, but then again, if they ignore me, my Masochism will still do 100 extra damage, regardless, even if I'm full HP. My ultimate will be off cooldown because they're not focusing me, so that's fine. And yeah, I can throw cleavers to everyone, and my Burning Agony will be a dot onto everyone, so they can't really just ignore me. That would be silly. But it still works out fine. So I went for a Maw of Malmortius. And, oh, I remember, and because in this game, the Tristana was actually the carry of blue team. We would have lost this game if I did not do anything about Tristana, so I went for a Thornmail. And it was funny because she kept focusing me and then she died. Because, well, that's the thing about the Thornmail. It's, well, you have Thornmail. 30% of the damage an auto attack does onto you gets returned to the one who casted it. So you're like, fine, okay, but that doesn't do that many. Well, it depends. It could be a lot, and I say a whole lot, if you have like 30% of the damage is returned to her. So if you have like 300% more HP than the one shooting you, Tristana in this case, then she will just die purely by her auto attacks. I know 300% extra health is ridiculously a lot, but Mundo is a kind of guy that has a lot of health. So if she shoots me and I will do damage in return, she will never be able to kill me. She will die just by herself thanks to the damage that she does. I should have at least twice the amount of HP, and then if you count my damage and my regeneration, it kinda counts for 300% HP really. She will die and I will live. So that's good. That's why I went for Thornmail. It's a good item if they're silly enough to focus you. Though she will, because Tristana is kind of the only one who has an anti-healing ability. Karthus has an ignite, but if he uses his ignite on me, then that's the only ignite in the game. Gone. Down the drain. But it'll be fine. Look at me sticking around, though I can't really do anything. That pool of Singe is really good against me. And I didn't know I was the only one living. That's what it happens when you play Mundo. You tend to forget stuff. So yeah, that's the item build I use this game. I'm not saying it's the best, I just use items situationally. Though as a Mundo, try and get HP items. It's the best. And after that, regeneration. And after that, maybe attack damage. Don't go magic damage. The only thing that'll get better onto it is burning agony, and that won't be that much. I don't even think it's 100% of your ability power that gets turned into into extra bonus attack damage, ability power damage. So as you can see here, I will not be able to kill the Tristana. I still don't have my random zone, and she instantly puts her dot on me, so I need to run away. I actually will need to flash away even, I think. No, I won't, because I have regeneration like a boss. But here you can see it, that Tristana is preventing me from dominating the game, so I'll have to do something about it. So yeah, I was talking about team fights. This first example will be how not to team fight. I remember this was killing us all, so here I am running into the enemies, instantly popping my ultimate, so that wasn't really necessary. To make it ends worse, I was ignited by Karthus, and of course afterwards I'll have the dot of Tristana onto me. But it's all because I used my ultimate way too soon. It enabled my healing to be absolutely nil. It made Karthus use his ignite onto me. I already lost 20% of my health just to turn the ultimate on. I shouldn't have turned it on too soon, and therefore we all died. So the next team fight will be a bit better, though we've already lost Nunu, though the enemy was focusing me now, and I still don't need to use my ultimate. I wait for it until the time is right, and then of course by a clutch ultimate by a Mumu they were able to stick under the tower. Now I have used my ultimate when I had about 30% health left, and I'm going for the chase, because hey, my ultimate gives me movement speed, and I have an Mumu to catch me up. Use my burning agony to reduce all the slowing I get onto me. I was able to ignite the Karthus, so that was fun. As a secondary summoner spell, I used ignite. Though here I'll make a mistake. As a Mundo, same goes for Singed, you'll feel immortal for quite some time. And against the Janna and the Singed, who are great at running away and kiting, you will not stand a chance. I should have waited for my ultimate perhaps, though I really thought I would have been able to get the Singed. But he gets shielded all the time, I get knocked up all the time, and I keep on chasing. My burning agony also does damage. Normally, with the items I have, Singed shouldn't be able to kill me with his poison, though of course Janna does have this is getting to the end game, so even Janna is able to do some damage. And after this part I thought, okay, that's it, I'm going for extra magic resistance, and I went for the Maw of Marmortius, beginning with Hex Drinker. I have my Thornmail now, so I don't need to be scared of Tristana anyway, so I might as well stack some more magic resistance together with some extra damage, so Singed won't survive next time we'll meet. So another good thing about Mundos is they have so much good buffs thanks to the Baron buff. It helps him completely, except of course for the possible mana regeneration, but it doesn't matter. The health regeneration is awesome on Mundo. And well, of course, the ability power will increase the damage your burning agony does, and the attack damage is also very good on a Mundo, especially for me. I have armor penetration runes. Which leads us to the next team fight. Cartus was silly enough to go solo together with the Mumu onto me and 2 other guys. So I was there with Sivir and the Mumu, so we were able to kill the Mumu. And now that I popped my ultimate, I regen quite a lot. The Tristana actually had to focus me there. But what she did was reduce my healing. Good job. But after that she should have left me alone. Because now I'm able to just wipe her entire team out. They're not able to kill me. Not without Cartus. Not without Tristana. So yeah, I won't make the same mistake against Singed. Even though now I can. I have more magic resistance. I have extra regen thanks to the Baron buff. So I don't even think, even with my Burning Agony on, that his poison is able to do more damage than I can regenerate. But hell, better be careful. I'll wait for LeBlanc for her ultimate to be off cooldown once more and then kill him. And that will be an ace. So the thing that Tristana did was shoot me completely entirely to smithereens. But I have Thornmail, so she died because of that. She died fairly quickly. Well, she is able to do a lot of damage, so 30% of a lot of damage is still quite a lot. Especially with her attack speed. So then we're off to the last team fight. We're off here pushing the lane. When suddenly, apparently the enemies were pincering us from behind. With Cartus on the lead. Well, Cartus is able to dive because when he dies he's still able to do damage. But it's not that smart. Now I'll use my ultimate because I was getting focused and CC'd quite a lot. So I regen my health going on to Tristana, who shoots me because she wants to reduce my healing. But then she'll die because of it. Janna actually showing off her nice items she has already acquired. She had about 4 gold per 5 items in the beginning of the game. That was pretty weird. Not too sure why she did that, because one item will never give you the gold you'll need. You'll need to sell it before the gold has been acquired that the cost was of the item, so that was silly. So guys, that was a GG. This was first a 50-minute video, 50 plus, and I thought, well, it'll be too long. I can do it in a shorter time, though I took quite a bit of a long time. So sorry about that. No, I hope you enjoyed it in this way. I've edited down quite a bit, I might say. All the boring parts are out, except for the parts when I talked for way longer than I would have had. But I enjoyed it. I enjoy talking. It's what I do. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed it format. If you want more videos edited like this, then feel free to put it in the comments below. Elsewhere, I will just do gameplay footages the way I always do them. So guys, hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye bye. Boy boy.